Hi everyone, welcome back to You Alone Can Help Me. Today I want to talk about doors that are locked. Have you ever been on the other side of a locked door where you couldn't get in? I know my son has. He forgot the key at school and I wasn't home and he came home and couldn't get in. He was hungry for his afternoon snack and he couldn't get in. I know he banged on the door and almost broke the door, and I found out that later because he couldn't get in, and I know he felt devastated. And this just happened to me today. I was locked out. I was on my way to my friend's house, and she lives in a gated community. And usually I go through easily because another car is going through. I don't even know the code, and I've never had a problem. I just slipped through with somebody else. But today, nobody came through. I called my friend, and she didn't answer the phone. And I don't know the password. I know there's a code that you can press, but I was stranded out there for 20 minutes and I felt so alone and like nobody cared. Isn't my friend, I mean, she could come to the gate and let me in or something. Doesn't she care that I'm not even there? I felt so alone and so devastated. But you know what? Those two stories aren't as sad and lonely as this story. How about this? What if you find yourself locked out of a gate of heaven? I hope that doesn't happen to you or anyone you know or love. Well, the Lord is very concerned about that, and He talks about it a lot in the Bible. And you know, the Lord's coming back soon, and He wants you to be ready. He wants you to know Him. Do you know Him yet? Do you know the Lord right now? If He came tonight, if He came back, would you be ready? That's what this is about. In the book of Matthew, He has a parable about 10 virgins. 5 were foolish and 5 were wise. And they were all ready to meet their bridegroom. Well, the 5 wise were very wise because they carried their oil lamps filled to the brim and extra oil besides in a flask. Their oil lamps probably looked like this. Well, the 5 foolish, they had oil lamps too, but they didn't have extra oil, and they probably didn't have enough oil in their lamp. So it was getting late at night. The oil lamps were lit, and the bridegroom, well, he kind of took his time, and no one knew exactly when he was going to show up. So they got drowsy and took a nap while their oil lamps were burning. And suddenly someone said, "The bridegroom's here! Get ready!" And they all woke up, and the wise virgins, they had enough oil in their lamp and extra beside, so they could come in and meet the bridegroom. And you know the bridegroom is the Lord, and you are the virgin. Because you know what? When you go to heaven, there will be a big party called the marriage supper of the Lamb. And you'll want to be invited because those are the people that know Him. What about those 5 foolish virgins? Well, they begged the wise virgins, "Please give us some of your oil. We don't have enough." Well, the virgins that were wise were so wise, they said, "No, we won't have enough of our own if we give it to you. Go to those who sell the oil." Well, those foolish virgins, they were gone looking for those who sell. And what I think the Lord means by that is they were looking for the Lord. They didn't know Him. If they knew Him, they would have had enough oil. And to me, the oil stands for how on fire you are for the Lord. In other words, is your lamp burning? Do you know Him? And when you know the Lord, your lamp is burning. You have extra oil in jugs right next to you. That's how much of His love and that you have surrounding you. So if you were to come tonight, you'd be ready to meet your groom. And even if you're a guy, or a girl, He calls the church His bride, and He's the groom. Don't be a foolish virgin. Don't be looking for love in all the wrong places, You might, for example, think you know the Lord just because you go to church, or just because you listen to your favorite preacher on TV. Well, it's not about that as much as it's about if you know Him. If you don't know the Lord, you won't get in. And to know Him, you just need to ask Him into your heart. Just say, "Lord, I want to know You. I want to have a relationship with You, Lord. Please, please, Lord, come into my heart. Show Yourself to me." And you know what? He will do it because He doesn't want anyone to be lost. So God bless in Jesus' name.